So, my dear Scorpio, the sun is now in Sagittarius, giving the light, of course, to the moon, which is now waning again. Back then, you had the Scorpio sun and new moon, and there we did go to the left, we did go introverted, we did go within. And the message was, this new moon brings you a deeper understanding of your self-worth. And the new moon is in the cards when the person or the bird looks to the left from an outer perspective. But then when we become the card, we see that the bird is looking to the right. So within each card is a cycle. Now it depends how you look at it. Are you looking at it from the outside? Then the bird is looking to the left. And that's what the energy wants you to see. But then in time you understand that you are going deeper within through the left aspect. And as such, then you bring it to the right, extroverted again into the world. So the 13th major arcana and the 14th major arcana, when we calculate the 13 together, we get the 4 in here, the 5. The 4 and the 5 is the 9. A completion is happening here. So water sign and a fire sign, usually intense, but we see how this angel is actually blending the masculine and the feminine, the fire and the water. And that's what's happening here, right? There is here water, deep, deep waters. That's what you are, my dear Scorpio. And here we have this intense fire aspect, right? Where we really feel like this is fire and fire, because the Sagittarius energy is the night, and the night is always fire. He wants to go out there, he wants to act. And here the kings, it's always air. It's always that mental aspect with water. So air and water here, right? Here, fire and fire. The sun is helping you to shine a light into blending the masculine and the feminine together, right? Meanwhile, you look deep down into the subconscious, into your feelings, and you are the one water sign that goes the deepest of all water signs. And the completion there is then that you understand that this moment is highlighted in blending the energies. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, which is the wheel of fortune. We're not going to look at that. You are ruled by Pluto, and Pluto in the tarot is the Aeon, is the new zeitgeist, and we're going to look at that, of course, as more of a title, because Pluto just moved into Aquarius, and we're going to, of course, look at that. Here for Sagittarius we have Paschimottanasana, the forward bend, and in that forward bend we find our own guardian angel energy. And you, of course, Scorpio pose, you bring your feet above your head and you transform yourself completely. You are here in Handel Tarot Odin, who's pointing here at the rune alphabet, and that's why Pluto gets the Lifruma Healing Oracle. We're going to look at that, what Pluto is wanting to say, or what the calling is right here through the Last Judgment. And of course you are pointing always here at the rune alphabet, because you were hanging at the world tree, and after 9 days you got the rune alphabet. Is your birthday between October 13 and November 12, then is this your court card? If not, look in the description below. I have listed the dates. As an 8 zodiac sign, you're connected with the 8th house of transformation and secrets. And of course, Scorpio is always the mystic. So learn to accept this part. You picked it because it's something that is interesting you. So we begin with the Lifruma Healing Oracle, and you got the number 62, the stenches, scent tested. And you see this arrow is going to the right, so it's almost like here the Aeon, the new Zeitgeist, is saying, yes, have a look. We are now going out into the age of Aquarius through Pluto, and I'm gonna read to you this card. Now, when I look at it, I see here a heart, but I also see 2 eyes, and I see that there is a deep secret in this card. The 6, self-love, and the 2 is, of course, the intuition. Calculated together, we get the 8, and the 8 is the strength, having the strength to take care of what you need to take care of. You stand before the gate ward, the dragon knit-hugger, who chews the corpses that litter the shore before the Gargantuan gateway. In monstrous silence, knit-hugger inhales your essence to test your measure. Knit-hugger cherishes fearlessness as he squares you directly in the eyes and holds you fixed. Will you fail and crawl, or will you stand tall and match knit-hugger's might? Your call, but don't knock if you're not prepared to fall. So we see the dragon's face here, we see the mouth, and we understand that knit-hugger is the dragon, and in this fire you becoming strong to actually take on what Aquarius is wanting to tell you. And Aquarius is bringing you the star. Aquarius is coming. So we are going from the year of the dragon, which is the year 2024, into the year 2025, right? And you see here the 17, you see here Apollo, the sun god. The sun is giving you the light through Sagittarius, bringing you the blending and making things neutral, because a star is a star. It's not a feminine or a masculine star. A star is always a star. And so the 8 here and the 17 calculated together, we get an 8 here as well, an 8-8 portal. But we also have the 20, right? And the 20 is then, when we look at it, the beginning of your intuition, to begin to live an intuitive life. What is actually Aquarius saying? The 10 of Swords is coming, and the 10 of Swords is like, stop getting these kind of information that torture you, particularly this hairdo that you see here, the needles that put this agony into your head. And it's kind of like there is this, okay, you gotta see that the 10 and the 20 is creating a 30, and here the 8-8, right? But of course I can also calculate here the 8 and the 20 or 28, we get a 10. And the 10 is always a new beginning. And then the 10 and the 8 is the 18. That's the moon that is bringing you right now deep feelings through your subconscious, and you're gonna have to look at that the 18 then turns into a 9. The 9 and the 10 is the 19, and that's the sun. The sun brings you through Sagittarius, right? The understanding that it's time to blend things. It's time to recognize that we have the power within us to unite the masculine and the feminine, the fire and the water, and the agony is done because the 10 is left. And the 10 is a new cycle, the 1 and the 0. And so you can see here the story is very strong, it's very powerful, and this is going to be the message. Now the 10 of Swords is Sun in Gemini, and Gemini is the communication. And we're going to get a lot of communication. So much so that we actually see through Aquarius, right, which is the new technology, the new communities, that sometimes it feels like a headache. It sometimes feels like all these information that are coming to you are creating an agony in your head, and you just got to be careful. You just got to understand that you do not want to let that happen. And as such, the message is very strong, right? It's the end of a moment where you felt overwhelmed by the information that you got, and it's like a difficult moment for you. Now, Odin is getting the Mother of Stones in the West, and that's Capricorn. And Capricorn is a major player. She's the 10th zodiac sign. She had 15 years Pluto in her house. I mean, it's like 15 years you have a guest who's constantly letting you know, well, how much deeper can you get, right, in letting go. And Pluto is not a personal planet. He's like a generational planet, and he's brutal. He really does bring you the tests. And so the test is here to recognize the 8 and the 10 is again the 18. The 18 is the moon in your subconscious. You're looking deep into your career, into work, into money, into your web, into the World Wide Web. And then the 9 is left again. Now, what is she saying? She brings you the 2 of Pentacles. And the 2 of Pentacles is Jupiter, the planet that rules Sagittarius, and Capricorn, right? Jupiter in Capricorn is saying, well, here we have the 10 and the 2, it's the 12 is the Hanged Man. Something new is wanting to come to you, right? Here we balance the money. We find a harmony. We find an inner understanding of what money does when we work with it in the duality, and the 3 appears. The 3 is again the Empress, and the Empress is letting you know you can rule. You can create whatever you want to create, right? Because she is the Empress. She is the number 3. And so the 3 is coming here. In the financial situation, you can create new revenues. You can do whatever you feel like doing. And so here, the 8 and the 10, the 18 plus the 2 is the 20. And Pluto is literally saying, well, have a look, right? At this new zeitgeist, at this new dawn, right? Where a dragon is coming and letting you know you better know what you're doing when you knock on that door. You know Nidhugger is going to look at you. He's going to look at you, and he is bringing you the information through Aquarius, through the internet. And yes, sometimes it's going to be a lot. The 10-10, it's going to be a lot. But you know that sometimes when you come into an inversions, right? For me, inversions are instant saver, right? Instant, I feel I'm calm again. I'm like, what was I so crazy about, right? And so the inversions are important for you to understand. Then I want to see what is the Mother Peace Tarot bringing in. It's bringing you the Crone, and the Crone comes reversed. That's Virgo. That's the Hermit, and she's reversed, and she's at a crossroad, and she is really looking at this figure at the crossroad, and she's like, which path am I taking now? Am I taking this one out to the right, or am I gonna take this one up here? And because it's reversed, right, it's almost like you are going still within, but you are called to go without. The 10 and the 9, the 19, the 19 again, the sun. The sun is literally saying, now you gotta go out there, you gotta see the blending, you gotta see what's coming, and you gotta understand that she, for some reason, is not so inspired. She's kind of like wondering what the path is gonna be. Because when the crone comes reverse, I'm just going to show you upright, it says the crone is not able to see very far into herself. She may think she knows more than she currently does. And so when it's reversed, she cannot look very far into herself, right? Because it's going to the left. She has a tendency to jump from one thing to the next without fully digesting the significance of each move. The crone should be careful of decisions now. She may think she sees more than she does at this point. The crone needs an outside perspective. Perhaps she should wait on making crucial decisions until she is more awake to her inner guidance and wisdom. So very clear, this message here, in sense of how you working, in sense of how you want to continue your journey. The 10 and the 9, the 19 again is the sun, is the 10 left. This new cycle that you are pointing at, that you taking, and that you see that you want to play the game of big money, but are you really able to play the game of big money? Now I want to see what is the crone saying, and you got the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords, that's a Libra. And Libra was before, right? The reading before. And so maybe you want to look into the Libra reading, and we have the 7th zodiac sign. So the 19 and the 7, that's actually Aquarius. That's the 17 that's appearing here. And the 17 is again saying, well, Aquarius is now bringing all the new energies, is bringing all the new technologies. It's going to go crazy. So make sure you have a clear thinking mind. You need to center yourself. That's what here this is saying. Go deeper within, because you feel like you cannot see deep within yourself what's important, what's coming, what are the messages. Okay, so the 9 and the 7 is the 16. Let certain things go. It's not worth to hold on to it anymore. It's kind of like, right, she's like looking over in this direction and she's not seeing the Queen of Swords. But the Queen of Swords sees her. And she's like, go and work deep within yourself on what it is that you need, that you can, in the 16 then become a 7, and the 7 is the emotional intelligence. In the emotional intelligence, we understand that we come back to the 17, the 10 and the 7, right? And the 17 again is the 8, the strength that I need to have to do what? The Ace of Wands, right? That's what the Queen of Swords is bringing. And look at this. The Ace of Wands in this deck is spectacular, right? We have 1, then we have 3, and then we have here 3 and here 3, 6. And then here we have 4. 6 and 4 is 10. I mean, this Ace of Wands is pretty spectacular, right? And so the action that you're taking, if you take one action, it immediately splits into 3, and from 3 into 6, and then from 6 into 10. And the 10 is here through Capricorn. And the 10 is letting you know, right, that you are learning that then the 7 that we had left here, and the 1 is the 8, and the 8 is saying, well, you are the 8. You are the 8th zodiac sign. You are with the infinite symbol connected. And in that, you are realizing what is talking here, and it's quite powerful what is coming here to you. What is Scorpio soul aspect bringing? The Ace of Cup. So the Ace of Cup, that's what you are, right? You are the King of Cups. And so you have here the Ace of Wands, the fire, the Ace of Cups, and that's what Sagittarius is blending. Here the cup that's receiving is the feminine, and the cup that is pouring into the feminine, that's the wand. And so the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Cups is creating an 11, and in that 11 you are understanding that the inner teacher is coming and telling you, you need to unite, you need to learn to unite duality. The 13 and the 1 is the 14. That's what Sagittarius is telling you. Blend, blend until you realize only love is left. What is Sagittarius saying? It's bringing you the Knight of Wands. That's Sagittarius as a court card. So there is a Sagittarius in your life that is really important, right? He flies like an eagle up here. And so the 14 and the 1 is the 15. The 15 is Capricorn, and Capricorn came here as the Spider Woman. And through the Spider Woman, we had the 2 of Pentacles, which is Jupiter in Capricorn. And so understand that Sagittarius is bringing you the message. You can fly high up. The 9th zodiac sign plus the 1 is the 10 again. And the 10, and here the 13, the 4 is the 14. And the 14 is again, come into your blending. Blending the masculine and the feminine. Blending the fire and the water. And in that alchemical transformation, fly high, the 9 and the crone. Here the 9-9 portal. But we had the 9 a few times already, right? So you understand that something is really important here talking to you. What is Sagittarius saying? He's bringing you the 8 of arrows, and that's Jupiter in Gemini. And the 8 of arrows, right, is reminding you of the 10 of swords. That was, of course, Sun in Gemini. Remember all that information? Now we have Jupiter in Gemini, and we had Jupiter in Capricorn. So don't make yourself dependent on the 8 of swords, because the 8 of swords is that moment where you create your inner bondage, right? You tie yourself up, you feel restricted. And in that restrictions, you feel like, okay, this is not good. But it's because the 10 and the 8 is the 18. 18 swords, that's again the moon. You need to look deep within what is coming up. Love is the answer. Freedom is the answer. And not here the 8. So the 9 and the 8 is the 17. That's what Aquarius is bringing. The age of Aquarius, right? Pluto in Aquarius. You're going to liberate yourself from certain mental restrictions and come back only into love. But then I want to see what is the Mother Peace Tarot bringing, and you get the 10 of Cups to the right, and the 10 of Cups to the right is pointing here to the 9. So 10 cups and 1 cup is 11 cups. And 11 cups, you understand very clearly, okay, 11 cups, that's the inner teacher. And the 10 cups is like, this is my community where I can be however I want to be. I can be free here, I can fly. The 10 and the 9, again, the 19, that's the sun. The sun is letting you know, we want to blend, we want to be free. People want to be free. And so here the 10 and the 9, the 19, again the 10 is left. The 10 and the 1 is the 11. The 11, and of course here the 4. The 4th of November or the 11th of April as a date is speaking here to you. And so observe, right, that you do not get stuck in those 8 errors, or of course the 18, which is the moon, but the moon is definitely speaking to you. The moon is bringing you a message. Have a look at your thoughts. Have a look in how you learn to accept that things shift, things change, and that you cannot hold on to anything. So now we're going to look at the last judgment. And of course we had here the 62 that came up, right? And so the 62 is saying, well, the 8 and the 20 is the 28. We get a 10 here again. And in that 10, you are learning that you can face your own inner dragon, your own inner demons, right? That you realize there is something that is attacking you. So learn that, right? And so here with the 8 and the 20, we get the 28 and the 10 is left. So what is coming from your deck is the universe, the world. That's Saturn. And so the error is going into the 21, into the whole world is feeling the dragon breath, the change, the flames. And look at this. Amazing. The flames, the dragon that is letting you know the universe knows what's going on. And the universe is bringing us now intense information. And the universe, I want to ask it what it brings you. It brings you the 3 of Wands. And you had here the Ace of Wands, right? And now you have 3 Wands, you have 4 Wands. So the 3 of Wands is the Sun in Aries. And Aries is like, okay, let's do it, right? It's a cardinal sign. It's a fire sign like Sagittarius. Let's go for it. And you see here how the game is starting, right? The game in the 3-3, because the 21 turns into a 3, and here we have a 3. A 3-3 portal. The 33 is always letting you know that you come into a mastery because the whole world is feeling your next move. What's your next move gonna be? Amazing, right? And so the 62, right? You see the 8 and the 33. But also here we have 4 Wands. And you do not have any other wands, right? So you have 4 wands, and that's the high time. That's a time where you want to celebrate, where you want to enjoy yourself. And so what is the Mother Peace Tarot bringing? You get the 7 of Cups to the left, down. And the 7 of Cups to the left, down, is usually the illusion card, right? You feel like you're in an illusion. The 6 cups, and here the dove, 1 cup above her head is actually feeding these other 6 cups, but it's reverse. It's pointing to the world. The whole world thinks it's like in an illusion. And so the 7 and the 3 is the 10. The 7 and the 3 is the 10. So the 10 again is this important moment where now a new cycle is beginning, because you're going out again, you're going to the right again. But here something is letting you know that you have this reverse situation with the crone, with the Virgo, because the 7 of Cups, that's Venus in Scorpio, that is speaking directly to you. And of course we had 11 cups. 11 cups and now 7 cups, that's 18 cups. So the moon is literally saying, yeah, you feel that. You better look at those feelings. You better look into that subconscious. Because here you have a 33. I'm going to leave the 33, right? And so here you have a 20. The 20 and the 7 is then the 27. We get the 9. The 9, right? That is letting you know there is a completion. There is something that you can end. And you know, the dragon is here. And here the dragon is looking at you. And the dragon is actually spewing the fire here to the left. he's facing to the left, but when you become the card, he's facing to the right. And this is the dragon, and here comes the world with the dragon. Look at this, it's so powerful, so amazing. And so the 21 and the 8 is the 11. The 11, and here the 7 and the 3 is the 10. 3 times the 1. Amazing. I mean, this reading is so beautiful. And so understand, right, that you have a very important moment right now playing out. And in this, you realize something. You realize something. The new zeitgeist is the 20. The 21 is the 41. The 41 and the 10. The 51. And the 51 is the 6. And the 6 is love. Self-love. Self-love to the extent where you go out, you let go of the fact that you think this is just an illusion. Dragons don't exist. We're in the year of the dragon. Dragons do exist, right? And so here we had the 8 and the 3, that's the 11, and you know dragons do exist. And the 33 and the 7, right? Understand the emotional intelligence. You need to understand the emotional intelligence of this. You need to understand that you had the Ace of Cups and the 10 of Cups and the 7 of Cups. So you have here totally 18 cups. That's the 9 calculated together. And in that 9, you recognize that you coming into a completion, that you realizing something, that the 9 is here to teach you something, even though it's reverse, and that all of this is letting you always know, right? The 18 here was also the 9, that letting you know that you are really awakening to something very significant, right? Again, here the 8 and the 10, the 18. The moon right now is teaching you something very important, because look what the moon here brings you, the unicorn. Are unicorn and dragons, do they exist? Yes, they do, right? And so open yourself up to that possibility. Open yourself up to recognize in the emotional intelligence what is coming through Libra, through that clear thought, right? Because she's also a sword. And so we had here also 18 swords. Again, the 9 then as a result. I mean, everywhere is the 18, the 18, the 18, right? And out of the 18, the 9 appears. And you got to look at that. You got to look what is talking and why the 9, the completion, is then in reverse. You got to know which path you're taking right now. You're going back out into the limelight, into the understanding that the full moon is waiting for you in 6 months, in the month of Taurus, which is your opposite sign, and you're going to be shining a light onto all and enjoy that very moment. I hope I see you in the next reading. That's when we get the sun in Capricorn, right? Capricorn has come up as the Spider Woman, the Queen of Pentacles, and of course Jupiter in Capricorn, right? Money is wanting to play itself out. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.